Welcome everyone to the OpenCall's Info Day webinar organized by the ICT49 projects. My name is Melissa Brunner. I'm from UCC representing the Stairway project. And just to let you know, this webinar is being recorded. So if you have any issues, just to let you know. So what we're going to do today is we're going to present different open calls from 6 different European projects. But before we present the actual open calls, we'll explain to you some more about AI and how it can be used in your business. And also we'll give you some examples of what an open call actually is. So if I could have the next slide, please. You can see here our agenda. We'll have the introduction to explain what AI and open calls are. And then we have the 6 different projects presenting the open calls. Next slide, please. So what are the ICT49 projects? Well, the European Commission has a research and innovation program, or had a research innovation program called Horizon 2020. And under this program, different projects were funded in different areas. And one of these projects was AI for You, which developed the first version of the AI on-demand platform, which was meant to be a platform which would provide easy access to AI-related assets, information, courses, organizations, and so on. And then the ICT49 projects, which are the 6 projects you can see on the right, are now developing new services to enrich this platform. And something that they all have in common is that they're supporting small and medium-sized enterprises to adopt AI solutions. So to start off, we have Sotiris, who's going to present to you what is AI, and he'll give you some examples of use cases in AI for businesses.
Yes, good morning. Hi from me as well. This is Sotiris Peleikis from the I-NERGY project. The purpose of this brief presentation will be to explore the potential of artificial intelligence for SMEs, along with some use cases that are interesting for such enterprises. So, next slide, please. Yeah, let us first familiarize with some terminology regarding AI. Generally, AI has many branches, such as robotics, natural language processing, machine learning, and deep learning. We will mainly focus though on the last 2, as they cover a broad range of applications related to the open calls and SMEs as well. Let us think more about the term intelligence. Intelligence denotes the ability to learn by observing and gaining experience from our surroundings. In the virtual world, this knowledge is expressed and encoded through huge amounts of data. That is, big data sets recording the everyday weather, stock prices, energy prices, the number of customers buying a specific product, and many, many more. The necessity to massively gain experience from all this data led to the evolution of machine learning. Machine learning algorithms get trained through mathematical models on data and learn to give predictions on specific tasks. The most popular branch of machine learning is supervised learning, basically, where labeled data are used. And as an example, we can think of a program that is fed with appropriately encoded email messages, labeled as spam or not spam, in a programmatic manner, of course, and learns to distinguish amongst them, being able, though, to generalize that knowledge to previously unseen data. Regarding neural networks, also known as deep learning, they can solve similar and even more advanced tasks than machine learning. But this time, it's about computers learning using mechanisms similar to the human brain. Next slide, please. Yeah, here we can see the basic task of supervised learning. First, the binary classification is the task of annotating data with yes or no labels, which is similar to the previously described problem. Multi-class classification extends this task to more than 2 classes. That means, for example, we can classify images of dogs, elephants, rabbits, and kangaroos, depending on their content. Finally, regression is the task of predicting continuous numbers. An example could be predicting house prices based on their square meters, location, year of construction, and other essential factors. Next one, please. Focusing on SMEs, they can use machine learning to analyze the transaction, customer, and HR data and achieve multiple everyday goals. Indicatively, we can think of fraud attempts that can be detected within emails and transactions. Personalized recommendation and targeted marketing can be derived targeting present or future customers. Document organization and work acceleration can be the results of efficient content classification. Similarly, dissatisfied customers can be a priori detected, preventing potential undesired churn. And finally, the customer support workflow of a company can be optimized through social media listening, organization, and chatbots. Next one, please. Regarding deep learning, some common computer vision tasks are included here. Amongst them, object detection, facial analysis, and face recognition have been the most popular lately. Such deep learning tasks can be useful for numerous applications, such as anomaly detection, people counting systems, security software, and even mask recognition, which is quite relevant use case nowadays with the COVID pandemic. Next one, please. Yes. So let's take a look at these plots. Via the chatbots paradigm, we can realize the penetration of AI extends across the various departments of a business. Similarly, the penetration in various tasks, ranging from typing with voice to team collaboration and customer services, can be also impressive. Next one, please. So, what is needed by SMEs to adapt to this new world of AI? First, the development of strategies that create space for AI is necessary, along with collaborative business processes across all stages of the value chain. Then it is important to gain access to the cloud, allowing for the application of AI on huge data volumes. And finally, relevant scientific and marketing knowledge is the key to be able to support AI-based processes. Next one, please. Yeah, so the open calls would be a great chance for SMEs to welcome that big change. Thank you.
Thank you, Sotiris. So that's some AI use cases. And next we have Isabella, who will be explaining to you what is an open call.
Yes, perfect. Thank you for this introduction. And yeah, to continue on how AI and the ICT 49 projects can support the SMEs and the AI adoptions among them. Well, all of these ICT 49 projects that we represent today have the open calls. Okay, so these open calls allow the SME to access the funding for the AI adoption in the easy way. Okay, it is called in the European Commission, it is called cascade funding. Okay, and this is the way of the European Commission to actually delegate the funding and like to make it easier for the SMEs to apply and to receive such a funding. So that is why, as you can see on the graph, the European Commission has a grant. It is given to the project, like one of the ICT 49, like for instance, I-NERGY or BonsAPPs. This is given to the consortium of the partners that is usually created by universities, competence centers that are responsible for the technical support and also for creating additional modules for the AI for You platform like it is now. And also there are some partners responsible for the open calls, for dissemination. So we fulfill each other in this consortium between the partners to create the project and to redistribute the financial support for the open calls to so-called third parties, right, which are SMEs, startups, but also natural persons. Okay, so it depends on the legal status. So we organize these open calls to make it easy to apply and to receive the support directly from the project. Okay, so we are like intermediary between European Commission and the SMEs to make it easier and faster. On the next slide, I can show you the example of such a third party of the winner. In BonsAPPs project, we have finished the first open call that was actually dedicated for SMEs, but also for natural person. Okay, we were calling them AI talents. And here you can see that project has defined three industry challenges, four industrial challenges, okay, where the AI adoption is really needed. And one of them was, for instance, manufacturing sector. And we want to found the AI solutions that will bring, that will solve the defect detection, okay, manufacturing sector. And we had many teams applying, but at the end we have selected Peresta team. Okay, it's a startup from France, and they have a full set of the skills, engineering, in AI, in computer vision, that they could actually prove that they could solve this challenge with our support in the proposal. That's why we have selected them. And now last month they have started the program with the support of the BonsAPPs mentor. We are giving them voucher to access the HPC cloud, and we are giving them 60,000 of grant. And on the next slide, just to finish, the benefits of applying to such an open call, if you would like to join our projects like Presta team, it's very easy to apply. Among all the ICT 49 projects, there are more than 22 open calls available with more than 18,000 million of the equity-free funding. And you can get up to 150 for your project, depending, of course, on the funding available. And all of this will be scaled through the network of the AI projects and AI for you. And yeah, we invite you to apply, and I pass the voice. Now we'll start the presentation of the open calls and possibilities. Thank you.
Thank you, Isabella. So next we have the 6 different projects presenting their open calls. The first project that's being presented is Stairway. So Ursula, the floor is yours.
Hello, thank you, Manisha. Thank you, Isa, for introduction. My name is Ursula Sobek. I'm from Funding Box, and I'm representing Stairway project. As my colleague mentioned before, it's one of the projects that has the open call open now. So I will give you some introduction a little bit later. First, what's important is the goal of Stairway project. So the main goal is to engage low-tech users, especially SMEs, with AI on-demand platform. And this will be achieved by some activities performed by project partners. Under Stairway project, we're supposed to develop 3 service layer on AI on-demand platform that support this engagement of low-tech users with the platform. And both services are multilingual interaction layer, horizontal matchmaking services, and vertical matchmaking services. Next slide, please. And to test this, to validate those services, we design 3 open calls. One is open now. I will give you some more details a little bit later. And we have here 2 open call for pilots. They will be quite similar. And we also have open call for adopters to perform feasibility study for adoption of AI. Besides this, we are running also 2 expression of interest call to collect AI experts, AI talents, and HPC providers that can support engagement with AI on-demand platform of SME and low-tech end user. Both expression of interest call are open now, so we can apply. My next cut-off day is by 30th of March. Next slide, please. Okay, and regarding the open call, we have now open the call for pilot. The deadline is soon, next week on 15th of March, so please do not miss this opportunity. Under this project, you can receive up to 60,000 euro to perform the feasibility assessment of adoption of AI and then perform the pilot. This call is dedicated to low-tech SME. This means that SME can be technically developed, but should be AI beginner, so do not have experience with AI. In that type of project is a use case of adoption of AI by low-tech SME, and this project should address one of our 9 challenges. We are offering under support program that will last for 6 months, mentoring and other services like access to AI resources, AI experts, HPC providers via voucher tools. The support program will be divided by 2 stages. First stage is dedicated to preparation of feasibility study, and the second part, which lasts for 4 months is dedicated to develop your pilot with support from technical, business mentor, and other assets. More information you will find on the OpenCall website, which is displayed on the screen. The OpenCall is closed next week, 15th of March. So you are welcome to apply. Thank you so much. I'm passing to the next project.
Thank you very much, Ulla. So next we have Carmen presenting the open call of DIH for AI.
Hello, good morning, everyone, and thanks for being here, for inviting me to talk about DH for AI and for the next open call. So the DH for AI is an innovation action that started in January 2021. It is coordinated by Polimi and personally by Sergio Gusmeroli. The objective of the project, DH4A, aims at building a network of AI on the demand platform for innovation and collaboration services. These platforms will be interoperable with AI4U platforms and also will be supported, the services to be offered will be supported by the network of several DH. This collaboration, it is important and among the different DH, and it is based on the result of previous innovation action, which is MIDI and ADH networks. We are built on top of the collaboration services already developed in these two previous projects. Next slide, please. So we have just closed the open call at the end, the first open call at the end of January. We are now starting with the evaluation project. And well, at the moment we have only generic information on the second. The second will be open in September, and the idea is to attract a set of additional 10 SMEs-driven experiment with the participation and the critical support of the DEH that are included in the catalog. To develop a new AI solution, extend the AI4U platform, and emphasizes the collaboration between DEH and SMEs and between DEHs. Next slide, please. So this experiment will be performed by a mini consortium of 2 or 3 partners, and the consortium will receive up to 100,000 euros. The DH, of course, will provide the support to the SMEs for testing and experiment, and additional support will be given by the project partner. As already said, we will open in September. Next slide, please. It is maybe worth just 2 minutes talking about the results of the first open call, because I think that the good results, better than expected, can be encouraging for other SMEs that are planning to apply. As you can see, we received 80 proposals from 20 countries. We might say that we cover almost all Europe. Of course, the participation has been more intense in countries like Italy, Spain, where there is a high concentration of DEH and where the open call instrument is well known. But the result is the proof that if 80 SMEs have done this, others can do the same. Also, I would like to highlight that we have a nice coverage of the 5 sectors, the 5 areas that we proposed. We have, it's not surprising, a peak in manufacturing with 33 proposals, but the other areas like agri-food, debt observation, finance, insurance, and public administration had a good coverage. So the open call, I repeat, it will be open in September, and the detail will be disseminated in July, August, at least 1 month before the opening of the call. So let's keep in touch and follow us on our website and the other events organized by ICT 49 consortium. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Carmen, for presenting the AI open calls. Next up, we have AI for Copernicus. Xenia, the floor is yours.
Hi, Melissa. Hello, everyone. Thank you for this nice organization and for inviting us. I'm here on behalf of NCSR Demokritos, representing the AI for Copernicus project, which is a European-funded project that aims to bridge essentially AI, artificial intelligence and Earth observation data by making AI for EU, the AI on-demand platform, the digital environment of choice for users of Copernicus data, researchers and innovators. What essentially AI for Copernicus is doing is trying to expand and deepen this integration between AI for EU and DSS platforms, data and information access services, aiming to enrich the AI for EU service offering and enabling data and AI-driven innovation. This will in turn drive the evolution and uptake and of course the impact of all the involved platforms, both AI for EU and DSS, creating far-reaching innovation. Now, how will all this be done? In order to facilitate this AI data-driven innovation, we have kickstarted an innovation cycle that incentivizes essentially diverse AI and Copernicus communities, aiming to solve real problems of business and societal value. This process will occur via 4 open calls, and will result in 8 small-scale experiments, smaller budget projects with single beneficiaries, more experimental, targeting technology advanced users, 9 use case projects, which are larger budget projects, consortia of SMEs, 2 or 3 SMEs, involving at least 1 low technology user, and an array of citizen-driven social challenges, because we also have individuals involved in our open calls. If we can go to the next slide, please. Thank you. The active open calls for this period are 2, the 3rd round of open calls for experiment, and the 4th round of open call for use cases based on citizen-driven social challenges, and they both have a deadline the end of April. In relation to the 3rd round of open calls, here we are talking about experimental projects of higher TRL level. So the end output will be minimum TRL 6, that is technology demonstrated in a relevant industrial environment. The beneficiaries are SME startups. For the 3rd round, we are referring to single partner projects in any industrial domain. And the funding will be up to 80,000 euros for each prototype, and 8 prototypes will be funded. In relation to the 4th round of open calls for use cases based on citizen-driven social challenges, here we are referring to projects with end output minimum TRL 5, that is technology validated in relevant industrial environment. And we are referring to SME consortia of high technology companies and at least 1 low technology SME, that is a company not formally applying advanced technologies like AI, quantum computing, IoT, etc. The thematic area, here again, we address all industrial domains, but there is a requirement that each proposal should address 1 of the 11 citizen-identified social challenges. Here, the funding will be up to 150,000 for 3 partner consortia and up to 120,000 for 2 partner consortia. and 3 prototypes will be funded. As mentioned before, the deadline is the end of April. The selection will take place during May and June. During July, we'll have the sub-grant agreement and the project's acceleration that covers a period of 16 months will last from August 2022 to November 2023. Overall, the proposals are fairly easy. We are targeting for at minimum 17 pages, at maximum, sorry. And we look forward to hearing from you and seeing you in our application list. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, Xenia. So the next project that we have is AI Plan for You. Luisa, we're ready for your presentation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Melissa. And first of all, thank you for having me to present AI Plan for You. So I will start explaining a bit what is the project. So the AI Plan for You aims to integrate the AI planning solutions and services to the AI for You in order to bring this technology closer to innovators and practitioners in industry. So the project was kicked off last year in January 2021, and it counts with 16 partners from Europe, encompassing different partners from industry, from academia and the startups. So we are all together trying to bring the AI planning to be integrated in the AI for You. So in this project, F6S is one of these partners. I'm Luisa, and I work for F6S, and we are here responsible for managing the open calls. So next slide, please. So in this project, there are 2 types of open calls. One open call is for attracting use cases in AI planning. So these open calls are very simple to apply because we usually accept high-level use cases on AI planning, and 3 open calls will be issued. The 3rd open call will be launched in May, July. So by this time, we will disseminate more details about this open call. But today, I would like to focus in the 2nd type of open call. Please, next slide. That is the open call for innovators. So this open call is open now. So it's running. So you have the opportunity to apply. This open call will address 3 specific tracks. It involves developments in order to integrate some use cases that are being developed within the project to the platform. So it involves 3 tracks. Track A to engage planners, so developers that will try to create different solutions to integrate the use case to the platform. The track B that involves the consortium of 2 entities in order to bring a use case in AI planning and technology-specific bridge developer. And the track C that we are trying to find a developer, a TSB developer, in order to address a specific use case that was selected in our open call for use cases. So this open call is open now. It will be open by 20th April. So we invite you to apply. So next slide, please. And what do we offer here of funding? For the open call for use cases, it's around 1,500 euros, 1,500,000 euros. And for the open call innovators is 90,000 euros. So who can apply? Single individuals and organizations in general, like SMEs, startups, research institutes, university labs, And in one of the tracks, we are also accepting a consortium of 2 organizations. So you can see here that all the information about this open call is on our website. So you can also contact us directly from by email. And next week, we will organize a webinar in order to explain all the details about this open call. It will take place on the 16th of March at 2 p.m. But you can also find all the information about the webinar and the links to have more details on about our products on our social media, on Twitter or LinkedIn at AI Plan for You. So find out more and don't miss out this opportunity. So thank you very much for having me and to present our project again.
Thank you very much, Luisa. Next up, we have BonsAPPs presented by Isabella. So off you go, Isabella. Thank you.
Thank you again. So once again, I'm Izabela Strasińska and I'm from Funding Box and we are managing the open calls in the BonsAPPs project. And also we're specialized in cascade funding. That's why I presented the open calls at the beginning. About the BonsAPPs, the project aims to create, well, is based on we'll create a service layer for the AI for EU platform and is based on the previously founded project, which is developing the Bonsais marketplace that offers the modular services for the SMEs. So the idea is that the SMEs and industry can easily publish their challenge on the Bonsais marketplace, and the researchers and AI experts that are able to solve it can actually do it through the platform and can publish the solutions in this open source model. So that will bring the AI usage among enterprises and the low-tech SMEs higher. And on the next slide, I would like to show you our second open call because the first one was already closed. So the platform is already has already a big ecosystem of the AI talent and experts that will test the Bonsais marketplace platform now during the first support program, and during the second open call, we'll be looking for the low-tech SMEs. We call them also adopters. And those SMEs will have to define the use case, so their challenge for the adoption of AI that will be published on Bonsais marketplace. And selected SMEs will receive the funding of €70,000 to develop the AI solutions for their use case. And as you can see here on the slide, from this €70,000, part of the support will have to be spent on contracting the AI talents. So this is something that we believe that low-tech SMEs has no access to. Okay, so the trained experienced staff that could actually bring the AI solution to life. So that is why part of this grant is dedicated to contracting the AI talents that we are recruiting right now together with the Stairway. We have this expression of interest call where you can actually apply and you can be engaged or you can be taken into account for the second open call. And then another important element is the support from the BonsAPPs that will be provided for those SMEs in not only finding the contractors or people that will help them to develop the AI solution, but also tools that we have. And the open call will be launched in August and October, so in the second half of this year. And on the next slide, you can see the summary on like how you can get engaged. If you are low-tech SME that are interested in AI adoption, you can apply in the second open call that will be launched in the second half of this year. But if you're AI talent, developer, researcher, and you would like to get engaged, you can already submit your application and you can get validated to be actually engaged in 2023 and paid also for being engaged. And then also we are looking for HPC cloud providers. So if you know, or if your company provides such a services, you can also submit your offer, get validated and be engaged with those low-tech SMEs that we recruit in the second open call. And all this information is available under the link that I'll also pass for the chat. So thank you for this. And here are the contact details in case you need help. Thank you.
Thank you very much again, Isabella. So the last project presenting the their open calls is I-NERGY. Thomas, the floor is yours.
Yes, hello, thank you. Thanks for having me. I'm Thomas Wilczek. I'm project manager at I-NERGY. I'm also from Fundingbox, colleague of Isabella. We manage open calls and cascade funding, as she well mentioned. The I-NERGY project aims at reshaping the energy sector value chain towards better business and operational performance. It does so and increased environmental sustainability and the creation of a stronger social fabric in order to propagate higher social value among citizens. And it has been launched in January 2021 and will last until the 31st of December 2023. It is coordinated by the Institute of Communication and Computer Systems in Greece. And it will launch, well, we already have launched one, it will launch 2 open calls to select 10 and 15 bottom-up projects and will distribute up to 2 million euros among them. And the selection process will prioritize those projects that maximize the impact of the AI for EU platform, as you already have heard in the other ICT 49 projects, and demonstrating the benefits of AI in products, processes, and services. So it's important for us that your project reinforces the service layer of the AI on-demand platform in the energy sector, mainly in 3 energy strands, so energy commodities networks, distributed energy resources, and energy efficiency and non-energy related services. You can find all the information about the project itself and of course all its open calls on the website that you can see here below at the left bottom of the page. Next slide, please. I-NERGY is made up of a consortium of 17 partners from 9 countries. This includes 7 leading research and academy institutions and 9 EPS stakeholders, which cover the full energy value chain. Next slide, please. As mentioned before, we have already launched and concluded the first open call, which was directed at SMEs, and its scope was to create building blocks for new AI algorithms, services, and small-scale experiments, so prototypes. We selected 10 projects. The selection process has just finalized this week, actually. The beneficiaries will receive up to 50,000 euros in a program that lasts 6 months and has 2 main phases. And the program will start on the 20th of April 2021 and will include mentoring services for the beneficiaries. And then we have a second open call towards the end of this year. Here we have a wider range of beneficiaries, SMEs, startups, EPs, beneficiaries, research institutions, and we will require at least 2 entities per applicant, so a consortia to be able to apply. The scope is a little bit more advanced. We're looking for minimal viable products here. The number of selected beneficiaries will be up to 15, and the funding will also be increased to up to 100,000 euros per beneficiary. And the program will last 9 months instead of 6. You can find more information, as mentioned, in on the I-NERGY website. Next slide, exactly. Here, just some data from the first open call that we have just closed. We had 403 started applications, which often happens that people or that organizations start an application but don't go completely through with it. But we would like to show the number to showcase the wide reach that we have towards the talents. Finally, 126 applications were submitted, and we have now selected the 10 projects to join the first round, and we'll be publishing the results soon. Applications we have received from 27 EU and associated countries, and the top 5 countries with most applications were Italy, Spain, Germany, Greece, and Portugal. Next slide. Yeah, and I would like to thank you, and please get in touch if you need any further information. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Thomas. You can also see here in the background an overview of open calls. So the open calls here are ones that are coming up soon. The open calls that are open now were on the previous slide, but we have also recorded the session. So we'll try and make that available afterwards too. So if there is no more questions, I would like to thank you all. Thank you to the speakers for presenting the different projects today, for presenting the open calls, and also Zotirius for presenting some AI use cases. You have all the contact details, I believe, on the slides, which we can make available to you afterwards, but also check out our social media sites, Twitter, LinkedIn. We all have websites for the different open calls. We have websites to introduce what the project is. So please do check that out, and feel free to get in touch with us if you have any questions. And of course, apply to the open calls. It's a great opportunity to get some funding and support to implement AI solutions, even if you have little knowledge about AI. For example, Stairway is a good fit to help you, take the first steps towards AI. That open call is closing next Tuesday. So feel free to apply this week. Take the weekend maybe to do some applications. And thank you very much, everyone.